Hello everybody and welcome back to Memoriapolis, where we are currently working our way through the medieval era here, and we're currently about 1400 turns through, close to 1800. They're not actually turns, but close enough. So we've definitely been having some resource shortages recently, and resources have been a little shorter than workers, which is actually kind of surprising. So we will accept this, that seems fine for now. And then we're interested in getting some additional satisfactions going here. Looks like our food is pretty good, or rather our health is pretty good at this point. We do need more safety, and we need more of every other category. So that's fine. Now, this just expired up here. So what I want to do at this point is I want to go into our politics, and we want to have, let's see here. So this is commercial district gain here, gold coins. Okay, esteem satisfaction is something that we can definitely do. So that's going to cost us 540 gold coins. We'll get that going. And then this is going to be health satisfaction. I don't actually care about that right now. Creativity satisfaction, sure. We could do that. So we'll get both of those going. That's going to increase us by 7 per cycle. So that is understood. So if we go into here then, we can see we are, I think, barely catching up here, but we are catching up. So that is absolutely wonderful. So we've got all of our services built at this point. And what do we have here? We could build a barracks and a wheelwright workshop. Okay, so in both cases, we're going to be lacking some resources. Understood. So that is absolutely fine for now, and we're going to need more gold. We may want to consider actually running taxes. This is neutral on, yeah, I think we can run taxes here since we're maxed on trust anyway. We can cut taxes to a particular faction if they go off of 100 trust. That would be reasonably fine. So like if we miss a mission or something, we can cut taxes to them for a few cycles, and that'll be absolutely fine. So this is going to boost our income significantly. There we go. So this doesn't actually say what our income is, but that should definitely boost that a lot, which will allow us to purchase a lot more goods if we end up needing them. So that's understood. At this point, we are definitely interested in getting one of these built. However, we are probably going to be seeing another mission up over here fairly soon. So we may want to wait for that to come through, because that does cut the cost in half. So that's definitely something to note. They seem to come through fairly consistently on a reasonable cycle. So that is noted. Now, we are full on stone at this moment. That is absolutely understood. And this gold beater is currently inactive. We could probably continue working on that, but we need to build up a little bit more gold. So that's fine for now. We've got this quarry here. It's fine for the moment. I'm really not too concerned about that one. So we're at 105 workers right now, and we do need to get a construction done here. 122 versus 126. This is only defense satisfaction, which we are short on. So that is definitely something that we could work on. So 600 iron. We're very close to that. And then we'd need 280 bricks, which we're a lot further away from. So our brickwork is out over this direction. We could definitely upgrade this. I think that this is probably something that is worth doing. A glazed pottery workshop. Okay, so we knew that that was probably going to come in very soon. So a glazed pottery workshop, what do we actually need for that? We have the resources for that right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a glazed pottery workshop at a half cost here. I'm just wondering, can we squeeze that in over here? No, but we probably can over this direction. So if we rotate it to be something kind of like this. Yeah, that looks fine. So we'll build that. That'll be okay. That's going to give us some... This is health. That's going to give us some health. It's going to give us some belonging. And it's going to give us some esteem. Looks good. So that seems fine. I think getting our politics online early is going to be very important for keeping up with the satisfactions here. So that is absolutely going to be a thing. Now, I also want to come over to the brickwork here, and I do want to get this upgrading to a level 2 brickwork. So we're going to get that going right now. We are going to be still short on bricks, but we need additional workers for other things. So this down over here, we definitely accept. That seems fine. And we need to make as much gold as we can right now. So we are having gold coming in at a reasonable pace here, I feel like. We know that we need 1,080 gold every 60 cycles to keep this afloat, right? The actual politics here. So this is 9 gold coins per cycle, no matter how long we have this be. So we can have it be the shortest duration, and that is absolutely fine. As long as we have 1,040 gold, which we will have. So that sounds good. Okay, so our brickwork is online now. And our glazed pottery workshop is going to be producing some additional stuff here. That looks great. So as far as all of this goes, right, we really do need to get caught up on that. We've got ourselves an epidemic up over here in this district. That's only 10 cycles, so for now, that's reasonably fine. This, of course, is happening because we don't have enough satisfactions, and we are actively working on that. So that looks good for now. Getting some safety going would be huge. But I feel like we basically have to wait until these are, like, half, right? So we can build one that's full cost and then one that's half cost or something along those lines. I would be interested in building a barracks here that does cost 280 bricks. So we need to get some additional bricks coming in here. This is 280 tiles. So our tilery is still only level 1. We should probably consider bumping that up to level 2. That would require 140 bricks. So bricks are definitely an important thing, but we're running low on gold right now because of the cost of this. But I feel like it's absolutely necessary to run these. So at this time, what are we interested in running here? So this is about 2,500. And then this is about 3,500. This is about 4,000. And this is about 4,000. So we should be running Esteem and Creativity at this point. That's what we're furthest behind in. So Esteem and Creativity. We know that this one is Creativity Satisfaction, so we can do that. And then we wanted Esteem. That's Belonging. This one's Esteem. Perfect. So we'll get those going. And we'll work on getting caught up on these a little bit. So Creativity and Esteem is what we're furthest behind on. We've got some Belonging. We're going to need more safety for sure. We're kind of thinking about building barracks soon, but we need tiles and we need bricks. So that's definitely noted. Expanding the territory? Yes, we accept that. That'll be fine. So we know that the expansion is going to cause us some issues with... Okay, that's only with revocation. Gotcha. So that seems good for now. We're going to probably want to purchase in some bricks eventually. So we need 280, and then for the tile re-upgrade, we're eventually going to want 140 bricks. So we need 130 plus 140, so 270 bricks. That's a lot of gold. Unless we wanted to trade something for that. So, who gives us bricks? That's these guys. If we wanted to buy 270 here, which I don't want to buy exactly that amount, I'd go for maybe like 220 or 250 maybe. This would be 4,200 gold. We could trade raw iron for that. I think we'd be better off trading steel though. So this would end up, we'd have to do 500 here for this to be an even trade. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So that puts us up to 408. What that means is that we can immediately upgrade our tilery. Now, we've got 268 bricks here, so that's not enough bricks to make our barracks, but we know that that's fine because we don't have the workers anyway. So that's okay. So that looks okay for now, and we're going to get this barracks built as soon as possible. Now, how are we doing here? Yeah, I don't know if we're catching up here or not. We shall see. We shall certainly see. So far, so good here. We're going to have our tile re-upgrading here. That's going to start producing more tiles. We need 280 for the wheelwright workshop, but that's a ways out because of workers. So that's absolutely fine for now. And this barracks, we're going to have the workers for relatively shortly. And we've got all the other resources. So that looks good for the moment. So 800 wood. Yeah, that's completely fine. They want us to build a malus. That is at 50% cost. It's going to generate esteem and belonging, and we do need both of those. We have the workers to do it. Can we cram that in right over here? Actually, I saw a spot where that would go. Where was that? It definitely indicated that there was a spot here where it was valid. And I think it was angled something kind of like this. I'm not seeing it at this zoom level. There was a spot here where the game said that this was valid. But I'm not seeing it now. So let's put it up over this way then. It can go, like, up this direction. That seems reasonably okay. So we'll build that right up over here. That seems fine. Now, that is going to cost us a bunch of workers. That is absolutely understood, but, I mean, we need the satisfactions anyway. So we might as well take it for now. So that looks good for the moment. We are at about half the money that we need to be at as we bring this to the halfway point. So we're looking okay on this being viable. And that's even with having done a trade route. So financially, this is not a problem. That's completely and totally okay at this point. So that is great. And I'm definitely still very, very interested in putting in a barracks up over here somewhere. We need 122 workers for that. And we could deficit the workers. Like, for example, do we actually need any steel right now? We can upgrade this. We need cut stones and wooden beams for this. Okay, so that's definitely noted. 350 wooden beams and 280 cut stones. So we'll save up for that. This is not going to use either of those resources, so we'll have that soon enough. We should definitely upgrade the improved medieval fortress to a medieval capital as soon as we can. So that's definitely something that we want to do there. We have an epidemic down over here. That's not shocking. So that is absolutely understood that that's going to be a thing. And we do need to build up our number of workers. So I do think I'm going to pause work on this forge, although not yet. How much do we need to get the barracks built? 122. So once we're at 98 workers, this would be a valid thing to pause. Just to get the barracks built faster. That would be the idea anyway. So that seems relatively fine for now. And let's get these attractive schools and reduction of the gabelle finished up very soon here. And we should have the cut stones soon. The wooden beams are going to be a little tougher. So that's noted. We'll see what we can do about buying some of those. But first, we need to get this going again. So let's take a look here. This is still about 2,800 approximately short. This is looking to be about 3,600 for belonging, so that's a pretty big one. This is going to be 3,300, and this 4,971. Yeah, so we need creativity and we need belonging at this point. So that's okay. We know that we wanted attractive schools then. And then belonging was up here. Okay, so we'll get that going. Now, the question is wooden beams. If we want to upgrade this guy, we know that we need 350 of those and 600 gold coins. So that is absolutely noted. We need about 200 wooden beams. And we cannot buy them. Okay. So where are we producing the wooden beams at? I think those are produced up over here-ish. don't remember where they're produced at. Can we go into here? And we go to the... Not the cutting camp. I've completely forgotten. Yes, the carpentry. It's this guy. Okay, so where is our carpentry? Here it is. Okay, looks good. So this is currently a level 1 carpentry, and we could upgrade this. That would cost 35 wooden beams, and we would need to get the upgrade for that. So we could definitely do this. So upgrading this would not be a terrible idea. We can get that going. That'll take 10 cycles. So that's understood. We cannot purchase wooden beams, so I think that this is a good thing to do. That'll be absolutely fine for right now. So, for the moment, we're okay with the gold beater being paused. The forge can be paused as well. We're still very, very, very interested in building this barracks. We need 98 workers for that. And we're at 56 right now. So that seems reasonably good for the time being. This will boost up our safety pretty significantly. So that is good. And also, these are 7 every cycle for 60 cycles. What is the total number of that? So that's 7 times 60. That's 420 in total. Okay, noted. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant amount of satisfaction that you get out of that. That's very similar to, like, what the Senatus is giving us. If we go up to the Belfry, it's less than that, for sure. Yep, we definitely accept that. So that seems fine for now. And if we go in here, we can see... I don't know if we're catching up on this. It's very close. Oh, we've got another request out over here. That is absolutely fine for now. Okay. So we do need to have a lot more wooden beams, right? That is something that we are significantly short on. Request to build a dungeon? It wouldn't be a bad thing, but it would take 96 workers. Now, we can pause the forge. We don't need steel at this moment, so we could definitely build a dungeon. And this is going to be at half cost, except the workers. I wish the workers were halved as well. Oh, that would be so much more efficient if that was the case. Let's just cram that in right down over here. Okay. So that's underway. That, of course, is going to further delay the construction of our barracks. I mean, 122 is a lot, but building these at half price is difficult to pass up, especially when we need the satisfactions anyway. So that's certainly noted. This still comes down to we have a significant worker shortage. We need more workers, and a lot of them. So that is fine for right now. We do have the small quarry up over here that we can turn back on, but there's not really that much of a reason to do so. So for now, this is absolutely fine. We'll get this online shortly, and that will boost up our... That'll boost up our satisfaction somewhat. So that would be good. And we're at 553 gold coins right now. So we know that we need to be making more money than what we have here, right? And it's gonna be tight this time. It's gonna be very tight. So what do we got going on with our factions here? Okay, sure. Noted. So that is fine for now. We got these satisfactions over here, so that'll boost us up to this intermediary evaluation at this point. We're still working on playing catch-up here, and that's understood. So we've got roughly half of the gold coins that we need to re-up these. Those might be down for a little bit. We will see. We can also potentially run a quick export of, like, stone or something if we can export stone. Yeah, we can do that. So we could export, like, 3,000 stone up here. The city can't buy that much. Okay, what about, like, 600? 800? 750? 775? 775. Yeah, not that much. They can do maybe, like, 760, 755, 754, 753, 2, Okay, so straight up 750. So that's going to give us 1,800 gold. So we'll just get that done. That'll be a nice gold influx, which we could definitely utilize. So that sounds good for now. And then this guy, all we need for this is the wooden beams. We are making wooden beams, but it's not very fast. We could upgrade our wooden beam production further. The question is, how long is it going to take us to get what we need? So we currently have need of 350. We have 134. So that's definitely a concern. No doubt about that. What's going on here? This quarry is out of resources. I'm going to change it over to stone, but there's only 10 stone there. And we're going to want to get rid of this small quarry very soon. It's a level 1, but we determined that there's not really a reason to move this up to a level 2. So that'll be fine. This is just going to be 2 cycles. This did not actually switch. It's not extracting the resource. Interesting. Huh. Why isn't this extracting the resource? It feels like it should. Maybe there's a cooldown on it after you change it, where it doesn't start for a while. Interesting. So we, at this point, need about, what, 200 wooden beams? Yeah, so we're getting 8 per 5 cycles. So, pulling up a calculator here, this is going to be 200 wooden beams divided by 8, which means we need 25, which means that it's going to take us 125 cycles to get that. Okay, that's noted. That's going to take some time, for sure. I'm thinking maybe a second carpentry does make sense. So we can get that put up somewhere over, like, this direction. There we go. We'll do that. Now, we do need to re-up these. So let's take a quick peek here. So we see we're at 5,600, 5,400, and about 5,400. So we need esteem and creativity. That is fine. That is going to be attractive schools once again. And then we're going to need reduction of the gabelle for esteem. Okay, and we're essentially trading money for satisfaction at this point. That's what we're working on there. So that's the most that we can do there for now. We are at the contractually, or we were at the contractually obligated nice number of workers. So that is, you know, unfortunate. But I do want to get this guy at least up to a carpentry level 2. So this is a carpentry level 2 here. And then this I'm going to upgrade pretty much immediately. That is going to take some wooden beams, but I think that's okay. Okay, so if we immediately upgrade this, that'll take 35 wooden beams, but we'll get caught up much more quickly. This is essentially doubling our production of wooden beams. They want us to build a manor, huh? Do we have a manor unlocked? We may not. We may have to unlock that. Which would be fine. We'd be delighted to do so. Yeah, so that looks relatively okay. How much is that going to take? 128 workers? Okay. We may or may not have that before the end of this, but we could definitely worker deficit if we needed to. Yes, this is fine. Okay. So that's fine for now. In order to construct this, this is not too bad on the resources. So I definitely want to get this manor being built. That's for sure. We just need the workers. We're 88 right now, and our migration is between 4 and 7. Understood. So this carpentry is online now, and we are now producing 16 per 5 cycles. So that's great. We have effectively doubled that. So we're at 96 workers right now, and we know that we need 128 for this manor. That's okay. This is going to give us some esteem, which we would be delighted to get. We really, really do need the esteem. So this is down to about half at this point, and we're at 102. We'll see if we have to pause anything. If we do, that's not the biggest of deals. We should be able to get it back very soon. We're not going to be very short on this. So we're currently at 11 cycles left on this offer. That looks good. We're at 113 at this moment. 115? We just ran out of resources somewhere. That's this quarry. It finally ran out of resources. Okay, we're just going to pause this. That gives us what we need to get our manor built. Now, the manor is quite large. No doubt about that. We could build it down over this direction. There is space over here. So if we built it, say, here... Yeah, let's build it there. Done. So, what do we want here? 5,600. Safety, we definitely need some, but for the time being, we're going to go, I think, with belonging. There we go. So that's 22 cycles out, and yes, we satisfied our population somewhat there. So that all looks good for the moment. Now this out over here, I would love to demolish this, and actually we can do that. So let's get that out of here. We're not too worried about that. That's way cheaper than demolishing like this guy. So that's absolutely fine. And then we've got our quarry here and our gold beater here. I'm really not too concerned about that. We'll get the gold beater back to work later on. Same with the forge. This is absolutely okay for now. So our wooden beams are up to 219 at this time. We need 350. Okay. So that's noted. We're making some progress there, so that seems relatively fine. This cutting camp is out of resources. Okay, so we should work on demolishing this, although that's pretty expensive. I'm just going to pause it instead, and we'll get the workers. And I would like to put a new cutting camp somewhere down over... Actually, out over this way would be pretty good. If we were to put this out here... Let's see. This is about 7,000. Yeah, we can do that. So that'll be fine. We'll get that online. This is a cutting camp 2. We're going to want to get this upgraded eventually to a cutting camp 2. So that seems okay. But yeah, the demolition on this is just too expensive. There's no real reason to do it, so we're just going to leave this paused. Yes, the passage of time. We've got 200 cycles before the end of the medieval era. The medieval era has been a bit of a struggle for us. I'm not going to lie. We need about 100 more wooden beams before we can get our final upgrade out over here. And primarily the reason for that has been our worker count. Our worker count is low. So that's understood. Our manor is being built here, so that's getting finished now. Excellent. So now we're good on our esteem, but our health has dropped. Well, it's not that our health has dropped, it's that our health requirements have increased. So there's definitely that. Decree duration plus 35%, that's not bad. So that, of course, means that... are we still 9 gold per cycle? Yes. For now, anyway. But what if we went into our... Hang on. Into our know-how here. And instead of this, we don't need more blueprints. What if we deactivated this, and instead we had... Esteem requirements dropped by 10. That's pretty okay. Per 100 people. But that's not what I was looking for. What I was looking for was... in here somewhere. Construction time, generation of blueprints, sales price, esteem requirements, passive production building reserve. Yeah. This is not what I'm looking for, though. Hang on. So that's treaties there. But the esteem that I was looking for was the policy duration. Right? Maybe that was a policy. Regardless, I do think that going for treaties is pretty good. That'll reduce our esteem requirements for 100 people. So we're going to grab that, and that means that our creativity, or actually our esteem requirement drops. You can see there by almost 1,000. So that'll be a useful thing for us, for sure. This cutting camp is online at this time, and I want to bump that up. Now, that's going to cut a little bit into this cutting camp, but that's okay for the time being. For now, that's reasonably fine. We have access to the reforestation workshop. That's interesting. So note how we have very little sand at this time. That's because this guy was removed, and this is working on sand. So let's have that be a thing for now. We'll work that back up. A hole in the bags. 266 gold is missing. Okay. Increase citizen satisfaction. I would love to. Oh, our politics are down. We should definitely do something about that. So that pretty much means at this point, belonging and creativity are what we're going to work on. We could theoretically work on safety. I'm actually going to do safety and, if we can, health here. Yeah, this is health satisfaction. Okay, so we're working on health and safety at this point. That looks good. So there is a reforestation workshop here. We could put a reforestation workshop out over this direction. We need 625 sand for that, and that is noted. I wouldn't mind putting another quarry somewhere where there is, you know, a considerable amount of sand. That's not a tremendous amount of sand. Down here would be an awful lot of sand. Okay. We could... Yeah, this sand has all been harvested up over here pretty much. We could put it up over this direction. I don't feel like that's great. There's some up over here. I think making our way down this direction would honestly be the better way to go. So this would need to go somewhere like up over here, but there's that swamp there, so it would need to go like here. And then we could build another one going down this direction. These don't require many workers, right? So that's not that big of a deal there. So let's just let this finish up. We're at 5 cycles left for that. But I just looked at the clock and realized it's time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to head down this way, if I remember, to get some sand. And hopefully also work on getting our satisfactions up a little bit, because we're still lagging behind on that. We got some work to do. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.